Another day, another shockwave rattling through the WNBA, and this one has fans clutching their jerseys in disbelief. The latest whispers echoing through league circles are more than just rumors. They're the kind of whispers that keep front office executives awake at night. Are the Indiana Fever actually preparing to trade Caitlin Clark? The internet is ablaze with speculation. It's all sparked by one explosive article from insider Scott Agnes. In it, he hinted at something no one was ready to hear, that Clark's very present and her unstoppable fan base be more of a burden than a blessing inside the Fever organization. Imagine that. The woman who single-handedly resurrected a franchise from irrelevance is now being painted as a problem. Agnes noted how it's not the team, but Clark's fans who dominate the arena energy, leaving some in the organization feeling uncomfortable. It's like blaming the sun for shining too brightly after years of darkness. Are we really calling success a liability now? If the Fever are seriously considering the unthinkable, they're risking a public relations meltdown like nothing women's sports has ever seen. Because Clark isn't just a rookie phenom, she's a global sensation. She's the reason people are watching, buying tickets, streaming games, and rocking WNBA jerseys in malls across America. If Indiana actually pulls the trigger on a trade, they might as well print "We Quit" signs on every remaining ticket stub. Think you've seen fan backlash before? This would make past controversies look like spilled popcorn at halftime. Clark isn't just the face of the Indiana Fever, she is the Indiana Fever. Without her, they're not a team fighting for playoff relevance. They're a ghost of what could have been, and fans know it. Trading her would be like throwing away a winning lottery ticket because you didn't like the font. This isn't about basketball anymore. It's about legacy, relevance, and the soul of a sport hanging in the balance. Do you think fans will stick around after a Clark trade? Think again. These aren't just casual sports fans. These are loyalists of Angeles Sredadorde supporters who fly cross-country just to see her play. They care that she's on the court. Remove Clark, and you're not just losing your star player. Hitting eject on the entire movement. You'll hear more echoes than cheers in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And that's not a prediction, it's a promise. The sheer delusion of believing the Fever brand could outlast Clark's exit is wild before she arrived. Indiana Fever games felt like open gym runs. Low attendance, lower energy, and barely a blip on the national radar. Since Clark showed up, it's standing room only. She turned the Fever from a trivia question into a main event, from filler content into viral headlines. To act like that kind of momentum can be swapped out for gritty rebuild vibes is pure fantasy. There's no trade package in the universe that matches her value. Picks, bench players, a future star. None of it holds weight when you're losing the one person who makes your franchise matter. It's like trading Beyoncé for a GarageBand demo tape. She's not just on SportsCenter, she is SportsCenter. Every shot she takes trends on TikTok, ESPN, and your grandma's Facebook timeline. And yet some within the organization still believe the Fever are the attraction, not Clark. As if the logo, color scheme, and the name Indiana are enough to bring 17,000 screaming fans into the arena every night. Spoiler alert, they're not. This is Disneyland. And Clark is Mickey Mouse. Take her away. And you're just an overpriced parking lot with churros. And let's not forget what she's doing on the court logo threes. Buzzer beaters and the kind of trash talk that turns home crowds into a nightmare for opponents. She's not just great. She's hated in the best possible way. A villain to rivals, a hero to fans, and a ratings juggernaut the league has never seen. Even the players know it. Sophie Cunningham admitted that when Phoenix faced Indiana, her teammates were out to humble Clark. But the fact that anyone feels the need to humble a rookie speaks volumes about the jealousy swirling beneath the surface. Clark didn't ask for the spotlight, she earned it. That spotlight is now brighter than ever, blinding anyone who ever underestimated her. Let's talk dollars, the kind that make executives sweat and investors grin. Caitlin Clark is responsible for 45% of the WNBA's entire broadcast value last season. That's nearly half the league's. Visibility tied to one player. Merchandise sales didn't just increase, they exploded by 500%. Her jersey was the #1 seller before she even stepped onto a professional court. That's not just a player. That's an economic miracle. In sneakers, this isn't about salary caps or ticket sales anymore. It's about the kind of money that reshapes business plans, reroutes marketing budgets, and sends Fortune 500 companies scrambling to attach their name to one person. Clark isn't just drawing fans to a renaissance, she's dragging entire industries into the WNBA ecosystem. From sports apparel to airlines, fast food chains to sneaker giants, the sudden surge of corporate attention has nothing to do with the Fever's picandrel execution. It's because Clark is printing money with every dribble. Before she played a single pro minute, brands like Nike, Gatorade, and Wilson were essentially in a bidding war for a piece of her influence. Her pre-draft nil deals shattered records. And once she entered the WNBA, it wasn't a transition, it was a launch. Indiana didn't just draft a basketball player. They acquired an economic engine with global reach. Trading her isn't just waving goodbye to playoff hopes. It's forfeiting generational wealth. Broadcast networks understand that. When Clark's games air, viewership doesn't just rise, it surges by hundreds of thousands. League Pass subscriptions skyrocketed after her debut, transforming what was once a niche streaming option into a must-have product. Sponsors didn't need a pitch deck, they were already knocking. In-arena corporate activations have doubled. Social media metrics have tripled. Brand engagement across the board has exploded. All with one undeniable common factor: Caitlin Clark. And then there's the merchandise. Her jersey isn't just topping WNBA charts, it's rivaling top NBA rookies. Stores couldn't keep number 22 jerseys in stock. Online retailers had wait lists. Even teams with no connection to the Fever started seeing increased foot traffic, driven entirely by the Clark effect. This isn't normal. This is unprecedented. She didn't quietly enter the league, she detonated the existing business model and built a new one. Now ask, what kind of franchise trades away its most profitable asset in decades? This isn't about dumping a bloated contract or offloading a veteran. This is a team in possession of a once-in-a-generation figure with the power to change not just a franchise, but the entire sport.
Oh.
The mere idea of trading her isn't strategy. It's sabotage. This isn't a basketball issue. It's a corporate catastrophe waiting to happen. The business world sees Clark for exactly what she is. It's a global ambassador for the modern WNBA. Big brands don't care about team rotations or box outs. They care about name recognition, media buzz, viral content, and post-game quotes. That's where the real value lies, and to toss that aside is to completely misunderstand what this era of sports is about. Every time Clark suits up, she brings an economy with her. Ticket prices rise. Food vendors triple their inventory. Local hotels fill up. Restaurants near the arena add staff. Rideshare demand spikes. Her games aren't just sports, they're events. It's economic events with measurable impact. In Indiana, they've been cashing in since the day they drafted her, from media rights to ticket revenue, from merchandise to sponsorships. They've reaped every reward of being the team that landed the new face of basketball, not just women's basketball. Basketball, period. Losing her wouldn't just be a setback, it would be a surrender. And think about how quickly all this happened. Less than a year ago, Indiana couldn't fill seats. Drawing 5 digits in attendance was a stretch. Now they're packing arenas and hitting attendance figures 5 times what they used to. Not because they magically became contenders overnight, not because of coaching changes or roster tweaks, because of Clark. Discovered a new offensive scheme, but because a generational icon chose to call Indiana home. You don't replace that with a gritty culture reset. You don't replace it at all. Caitlin Clark has done something nearly impossible in modern sports. She's united generations. Kids, teenagers, parents, grandparents, on the same arena, all sharing the same excitement. She's not just an athlete. She's a movement, a brand that transcends demographics, cutting through politics, geography, and even team loyalty. She makes neutral fans care. Talk about ROI? Bye. Her presence alone has raised the valuation of the Indiana Fever franchise. Rookie deal on paper, but the value she generates is CEO-level output. She doesn't just bring in revenue, she elevates everyone around her. Teammates get endorsements. Opponents get primetime exposure. The entire league gets a brighter spotlight. That kind of value is irreplaceable. This isn't just about wins and losses anymore. Teams are measured by influence, cultural relevance, and market power. No one brings more of that to the table than Caitlin Clark. Trading her would be like Netflix canceling its top-rated series mid-season. Fans wouldn't just change the channel, they'd unsubscribe completely. And that's the real risk. The Fever's success isn't the result of a system, it's singular. Remove Clark and everything changes. Viewership plummets. Merch sales stall. Viral clips disappear. Suddenly, the story shifts from how high can this team fly to how fast did they fall. They become the cautionary tale told in every sports business. Classed for decades, and the media wouldn't let it die. There would be no clean break, just headlines, think pieces, and documentaries dissecting how Indiana let the Golden Goose walk. Who didn't protect her? Why didn't they do more? The scrutiny would be relentless. Meanwhile, the team that lands Clark, they go from afterthought to America's team overnight. Doesn't matter if it's a market with more cows than people, Clark shows up and sells out 20,000-seat arenas in Indiana. Left behind, it's watching their once-in-a-generation star turn another franchise into a powerhouse. Here's the biggest irony. Clark's success is what sparked this conversation in the first place. Her impact is so huge, so immediate, that some have started wondering if the team can keep up with her. It's not strategy, that's fear pretending to be vision. It's a dangerous mindset. Clark isn't a phase. She's not a flash in the pan. She's the foundation of what the league will look like going forward, not in 5 years, but right now. Every team in the league would trade their entire starting five for her today. That's not exaggeration. It's market value. If the Fever can't see that, they deserve to lose her and everything she brought with her. Now imagine making that choice. Imagine a group of execs deciding that preserving some abstract idea of team culture is more important than maintaining actual, tangible success. That would be like Apple firing Tim Cook and replacing him with a blender. You don't trade a generational brand builder because a few veterans are uncomfortable with the spotlight shifting. That's not leadership. That's self-sabotage. Even if Indiana wins a title in a season where Clark misses time, the asterisk will always be there. People will say, well, Clark wasn't playing most of the year, it doesn't count. That's the double-edged sword of having a superstar. Whether she's present or not, she defines the conversation. She is the conversation. That's why her fan base is so powerful. They're not tuning in for team rivalries or standings. Hey, they're watching for her. She could be playing with scarecrows and still pack arenas. She could be on a team with 1 scoreboard, 2 healthy players, and 0 playoff chances. And she'd still dominate the headlines. You can't replicate that. You can only ride it to or ruin it. Right now, the Fever are sitting on gold and somehow acting like it's too heavy to carry. If they trade her, they're not just making a mistake, they're making history for all the wrong reasons. Making a smart business decision, they're burning their own empire to the ground. And the fallout won't just be angry fans and bad press, it'll be irrelevance. Sponsors will back away. TV crews will reroute. Ticket sales will crater faster than a mid-season collapse. Caitlin Clark isn't just a needle mover, she is the needle. Yes. She dictates ratings, drives revenue, and shifts the cultural conversation. And yet, some people are seriously considering hitting the eject button on all of that. It's not just short-sighted, it's self-destructive. The league isn't thriving because of a team, it's thriving because of her. You can't teach this. Kind of magnetism. You can't draft it again. You sure as hell can't trade it without consequences. Clark is building something unprecedented in women's basketball. A global brand within a domestic league. A movement in a jersey. A walking revolution. The Indiana Fever thinks they're managing a team. What they're actually holding is a lightning bolt. And they're dangerously close to throwing it into the ocean. Every time they hesitate to protect her, support her, or even understand her value, they edge closer to disaster. And if they do the unthinkable lift, they trade Caitlin Clark. 1B will never be the same. Neither will they. Let's be absolutely clear about what's at stake here. This isn't just a story about a team and its star player. It's about a cultural flashpoint that's reshaping women's sports in real time. Caitlin Clark is the catalyst for that evolution. She's the reason the WNBA is being talked about in barbershops, boardrooms, and bleachers alike. If the Fever cut her loose, they won't just be trading a player, they'll be betraying the very momentum that made the league matter. What makes this even more absurd is that Clark isn't demanding special treatment. She hasn't gone rogue. She hasn't stirred up drama. All she's done is show up, lace up, and show out. She's carried the weight of the league's rising expectations with grace and still dropped 30-foot daggers like it's just another day at the office. And yet somehow, the narrative is being twisted to make her the problem. That's not just disrespectful, it's delusional. It's almost poetic in the most tragic way. A player arrives, transforms the league, elevates everyone around her, and then becomes a scapegoat for her own success. This is how you lose stars. This is how you alienate fans. This is how you take a golden opportunity and light it on fire just to warm your hands with a little false pride.